Hello and welcome to Imperfect Game, a show that's less about reviewing games and more of an excuse to clean out my Steam library. My name is Tom, and today I'm covering Game Dev Tycoon. Game Dev Tycoon was made by Greenheart Games and was released on Steam in 2013. It's a business management game where you go back in time to the 80s to start your own video game company, and exploit your knowledge of the future to cheat the market in your favor and steal game ideas from their creators before they even think of them. Most people would just sell for buying living lotto tickets, but okay, I guess this works too. You see, after the crazy that was Crimzon Clover, I thought it would be a nice change of pace to pick a more relaxed game this time around. Witness the history of the game industry as you build your company from your garage and see the rise and fall of the major players of the medium, albeit in copyright-safe form. You build your company by making games. You use menus, sliders, and checkboxes for 95% of the game and wait for stuff to happen the other 5%. You have funding that basically acts as your health bar. You make money from good games, but games cost money to make in the first place. Bad games won't sell as much, so if you keep making shitty games, you'll eventually lose money, and that can lead to debt, and that of course leads to bankruptcy. To improve your games, you can research new topics, new tech, or simply learn how to make fucking sequels. You can also make custom game engines that allow you to make better games. These cost time and money, so it's better to research a few good engine parts first. For making games, you use a menu, and select what you want your game to be about. Check some boxes, move sliders, give it a name, and just finish and publish. Now wait for those reviews and see how much you fucked up. There's also smaller systems like marketing and fans, as well as some scripted events. As you make more money, you can buy an office, and that allows you to hire staff members. They have their own stats and can be trained. They also need to be paid too, so keep that in mind. When enough time passes, you will see events like this one unfold. These are based on actual historical events in the game industry. For example, Sega used to make consoles, but after the death of the Dreamcast, they became a multi-platform games company. That event happens in Game Dev Tycoon 2. You also come to face the shady side of the game industry. Do you sue the people that use illegal copies of your games immediately, or do you warn them first? Do you give the fans asking for the source code of your older game engines, and if you do you charge them for it? Do you shut down the fans' tribute game to protect your IP, or just leave them be? There are real-world examples of these questions if you Google them. It's not unheard of for a company to shut down a fan game of their IP, but it's also not unheard of for a company to be perfectly fine with fan games. Piracy is also a controversial topic with strong opinions on each side. It's clear this game was a labor of love for the game industry, and it shows. But now I must bear some bad news. I don't think this game's that good. Yeah, it's not bad, but it's not good either. As I stated earlier, menus are 95% of what you're doing, and while that's not a major problem for the first 5 hours, after you upgrade your office, hire a staff member, make about 20 games, you start to see the pattern. Open menus, check boxes, move sliders, wait for game to finish, publish, wait for reviews, and see if you fucked up. Now imagine this times 20 and you basically get the first 5 hours of this game. Now, while repetition isn't inherently bad, when your main gameplay loop is just clicking in menus, you need to make those menus as engaging as possible. Turn-based RPGs are basically menu and number games, but most of those games find ways to just make using a menu fun. Maybe they put a kick-ass battle theme in. Or they just have some unique mechanic that makes turn-based battles more interactive. Sometimes the story of a game can be enough to carry boring gameplay. But yeah, game devs, don't do that, please. The first 5 hours I was sucked into this game, I'll admit. But that wore off fast and doesn't leave me much desire to play this game again, let alone complete it in the first place. Well, I guess the moral of today's episode is that maybe I dropped some of these games for good reasons. While Crimzon Clover was a lot better than I gave it credit for, Game Dev Tycoon was never really worth it. Did you know this game costs $10, same as Crimzon Clover? Yeah, take my advice. Price does not reflect quality. The game is a labor of love, but it's not much else. This has been Imperfect Game, and thanks for watching. And god fucking damn it, why is it this hot in September?